Alright, so today I'm gonna be destroying this 10-year-old GPU with 4K Ultra HD graphics, and I wanted to do 8K, but unfortunately this does not support 8K output, but it does support 4K. And we're gonna be testing it on the Cyberpunk 2077. And why that game? And that is because that game is the most demanding title to this day. And um, all of the games just works on 4K without any problem, and we're also going to be overclocking this to completely destroy this. And I hope we don't destroy this GPU because it's a little cute small graphic card from 10 years ago, and I tested it on 1080p, works completely fine, but 4K we're about to find out, so let's get right into it. Alright, so here we have Cyberpunk running, but right now I'm not overclocking the GPU because we don't want to destroy it yet, so we might do it later. So as you can see, it's on 1080p, but settings are on the lowest of the low because some of the settings are even lower than the lower settings. FOV 70 and everything is on low. This is medium because I can't change it to low. So let's see how many resolutions we have. So 1080p, that's the normal one, and I'm gonna be using it to the 4K. So let's start with the lowest setting, that is below 720p, and I believe it's 1024 by 768. Yeah, it's this one right here. Can't go lower than this. And the game kind of looks blurry and it's stretched out, but that's fine.
Hey everyone, feels great to have you back. So then, did you all hear about that Arasaka aircraft carrier docked in Night City called Kujira, or the Whale? Apparently the
Okay, so the game is running above 30 frames per second. Okay, never mind, it's 28. And for some reason, only the resolution looks like crap here. The game graphics looks kind of fine on low settings. I mean, the game does look like the game from 2010, but it is playable 100%. And I can't believe this is running on 10-year-old GPU. And you know what? Let's crank up the resolution to 720p because this is playable, and I don't want a playable experience. I want the most laggy PC destroying experience. So 720p. Okay, the game is not stretched out now, and still the same frames per second. The latency is like 40 milliseconds, so that kind of got worse. And trust me, it's gonna get even worse on 1080p and 4K. The frames are 21 frames per second, and these are logged frames. Solid 21 frames. Let's go. 1080p. Let's see what we're gonna get. Remember, 21 frames on 720p. And on 1080p, I believe we'll get like 18, 15. I'm not quite sure. Okay, game looks already good. The menu looks sharp. And we're getting about 12 frames per second. Latency is like 80 milliseconds. And input lag is massive here. I can barely control the car. But again, the game is playable. It's running so smooth. I would say 100% playable experience, by the way. Solid 10 to 15 frames per second. You know what? I want to go to 1440p because, like I said, I don't want a playable experience. I want the game to lag as much as possible. Okay, so this is 1440p. We are getting 10 frames. It doesn't make any difference on 1080p and 1440p. But yeah, the delay, the input lag is a lot. I mean, I was staying the car properly in 1080p, but on 1440p, it's even worse. You know what? It is time to switch to 4K. Because remember, we want a gameplay that is not playable. And I wanted to do 8K, but this does not support 8K, and I can barely see the text of the frames. You know what? Let's go to MSI and see if we can increase the size of the text. Hold on. I think it should be in settings. Okay, I can't find that setting that increase the size of the UI of the MSI. But you know what, that's fine. It'll give us the idea of how many frames we're getting. I'll just zoom in. My eyes, not the camera. We are getting about 1 frame per second. Or 2 frames per second. I don't know, it just bad. It looks so bad. I can barely drive the car. Okay, so this is what we're gonna get in 4K resolution in a 10-year-old graphics card. You know what? It is time to overclock the GPU. We might just burn the GPU, like it's gonna catch on fire, but we're gonna have to do it anyway, just for the educational purposes. I mean, how good this game plays, I would say it's still playable in solid 2 frames per second. Okay, where's the overclocking? Should I just put it on like, I don't know, 7, 17? I don't know. Okay, this seems okay. If we get more frames. Okay, so from what I can see is I'm getting 4 frames per second. Solid 4 FPS in Cyberpunk 4K. And this overclocking is not making any difference, to be honest. It just doesn't do anything, and GPU is on 100% load and our CPU is barely sweating out. I don't think so it's gonna increase the performance. So yeah, this is the maximum what we're gonna get. So yeah, this is how the game is gonna run on 10-year-old GPU on 4K resolution. So in conclusion, can you game on 4K on a 10-year-old GPU? Yes, you can. Solid 4 frames per second is all you're gonna get, and I think that is still playable. Yeah, I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.